Hi everyone, I'm Jennifer Murphy, Go Girl, and I'm here with my friend Sara Chevere, who is a financial coach. Sara is going to teach us the 4 rules of being financially fit. So what is rule number 1?
So rule number 1 is money problems are mindset problems.
Okay.
There is a disconnect between our mindset and our bank accounts. So until we actually work on our mindset and the way that we look at money, we're gonna be having money problems. So that is the first thing. We need to work on fixing our mindset or finding where our habits and behaviors are coming up. That's rule number 1.
Okay, so taking a step back and looking at how am I using my money and what's happening with it,
Yes.
and try and just, fix anything that needs to be fixed.
Yes, and not only that, but like the habits and behaviors that we have, where are they coming from? Are they coming from what we saw when we were kids or experiences that we have acquired throughout our lives? So that's the first thing, where I believe about money and the things that we believe about money are coming from.
Okay. And what is rule number 2?
So rule number 2 is about creating a spending plan or a budget. I know that some people have problem with budget because they feel that it's a little bit tightening or that they're not going to be able to do the things that they want. But to the contrary, if you don't know where you're going, you're going to end up somewhere else. And a budget is kind of like a guidance that is going to allow us to achieve the things that matters the most to us. So like if there's, for example, a trip to Italy, right? If we don't have a budget or a spending plan that we have planned ahead of time, then the trip to Italy is gonna take longer and longer and longer. And that comes to anything that matters the most to us.
Okay, I love it. So maybe don't buy that new pair of shoes because you know that you really want to go to Italy.
Exactly.
And you can't wear high heels in Italy anyway. I've been there and I brought all my high heels and you need flats because of all the cobblestones. So.
I agree. And then the other thing about that is that you want to make sure that your income is actually higher than your expenses, right?
That makes sense.
And a budget is going to allow us to determine that, if you need to increase your income or if you need to lower a little bit your expenses.
All right, Sara, so tell us about rule number 3 for being financially fit.
So rule number 3 is actually aligned with rule number 2. And this is something that I teach a lot, and it's called delay gratification and embrace anticipation. This is about changing your emotions on the things that matters the most to you. For example, let's go back to the pair of shoes. Yes, you want that pair of shoes, but how long that emotion is gonna last when it's actually taking you further away of the things that matters the most to you.
Okay.
So get excited about what you really want. Think about that. When you delay gratification on things that are like very quick or quick fixes or quick purchases and things like that, and then you embrace the anticipation and that they just shift your emotion from that instant gratification to that delay anticipation, then it's not going to be that hard for you to separate that money, to save that money, to grow your money.
Things that you have to wait for and that you have to earn end up being that much more rewarding, that much more exciting.
Absolutely, yes. It's going to be worth it.
Right.
Absolutely.
Okay, Sara, so I'm ready to hear about rule number 4 for being financially fit.
So this one is very important because automation is the key of liberation. Sometimes we feel that if we have the money in our control or in our bank account or in our hands, we actually have more control of it and we can decide how much we're gonna put away, how much we're gonna spend and things like that. But no, we're actually lying to ourselves. Automation is the key of liberation because when we automate, that money is gonna go away, it's gonna go to wherever it has to go, either your expenses or to grow your investments, and you're not gonna miss that money because you're not seeing that money. And then you will adapt your life based on what you actually have in your bank account. So make sure that you automate as much as possible. Your expenses, but especially your investments and your savings.
What are some of the best ways to automate?
Definitely every single bank, for example, they have automated bill pay.
Okay.
Also, every single company that, like for example, your rent, your mortgage, all your electricity, your water, all of those companies, they already have a way that you can actually do auto pay.
And
so
then
auto pay everything.
And then having a certain amount that automatically goes into your savings account each month out of your checking?
Yes. So aside from your expenses, then you want to do the same thing for your investments, for your retirement accounts, for the things, for that trip.
So you don't even have to think about it.
Exactly.
And then you have this peace knowing, I've got it taken care of.
Exactly.
I'm paying myself first before I go out there and just, blow it.
And the beauty again is that you're gonna see that money growing, and you're gonna be able to see that trip to Italy, right, is getting closer and closer because that money is going automatically there, and you're not gonna miss it.
Well, thank you so much for sharing your rules with us. And I want to know, how did you get into finance, and what inspired you, and why do you enjoy it?
So one of the things is that I grew up in an environment where everybody carried the poverty DNA. And if you guys have never heard of that, I suggest that you Google it. It's actually a fact that a lot of times we can carry that gene, right, of a poverty DNA. And it was until I was able to come here to California that I actually was able to be in front of mentors and people that actually taught me the value of money and how I was able to achieve certain things. I don't know if you have ever heard of Benjamin Franklin when he said, people die at 25, well, we bury them at 75. Because unfortunately, by 25, most likely, a lot of people have forget their dreams because they're living in this constant rat race. So when you actually get financially educated, which is something that unfortunately in the United States is not happening, only 5 states teaches about money, when about almost 45 states teaches about sex.
Wow. Right?
There's a disconnect there, right, in the education, even in the schools. So I really want to expand that, especially for women. With women also we have for generations after generations, we've been the gatherers, we've been the moms that raise the kids. And now in this era, we actually more modernized, right? We are taking the forefront on becoming business women or having a job or being in the corporate managers, etc. But unfortunately, we still are carrying that DNA, or we are still carrying
habits.
that. Yeah, I wouldn't say that it's a bad habit, but it's what we have carried for generation after generations to be the one that is the gatherer, the ones that raise the kids. But now things have changed. So we actually need to change our mindset too when it comes to that.
Well, and I love the title of your book. Tell us about that.
Oh, so yes, I'm actually launching my book, A Man Is Not a Plan, in 2020. I'm actually changing Cinderella's story, and I'm actually clarifying it because Cinderella never asked for a prince, right? She actually asked for a day off. So there's a lot of things that I'm gonna be talking about in my book, A Man Is Not a Plan, and how you can, as women, take charge of your own money, live your life in your own terms without depending financially on a man.
Well, thank you so much for sharing with all of us. And money can be a good thing. It can be something that we use, to improve our lives and to pay it forward to others. It can be exciting to see it grow. It can be a scary thing when you're not on top of it, and just don't be afraid of it.
Nope.
And Sarah, how can they reach out to you if they want to get to know more about, your coaching and the different services that you offer? So
you can definitely go to my website, thefinanciallyfitwomen.com or sarachevere.com, and then check my blog. I have a lot of free content that you can take advantage of course. And if you want to learn a little bit more or get a little bit more deeper into how to become financially fit, all you have to do is contact me and we can talk.
And what would be one last, just like a shout out to all of the girls and women out there that, might want more in their life, but maybe they're just not going for it? I mean, what would you say to them?
Well, like I said to all of my girls that end up to be my clients, and that is, you have the power. It's a matter to learn how to become confident. It has been proven that women, we are a lot better with money. if we are getting financially educated. So it's a matter of getting the knowledge that you need in order to take charge of your money and become empowered and confident on doing so, because you can do it.
Sara, thank you so much for being here.
Hey, I'm so glad. Thank you. It's an honor.
You go, girl. Awesome. Thank you so much. High five.
Hey.
You go, girl.